Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, it was an atrocity that was at the time condemned by the US President and the Pope and the Queen. 6 men watching football in a pub in Knowingus Island, County Down, were killed when loyalist gunmen burst in and opened fire. Today, 22 years later, the Northern Ireland Police Ombudsman listed catastrophic failings in the investigation of the case and said police officers had colluded with the killers. Our chief correspondent, Alex Thompson, reports.
The bar was packed. Ireland were playing in the World Cup. Just after 10:10 on the night of June the 18th, 1994, the UVF gunmen burst in. 6 men shot dead in Heights Bar, Loughin Island in County Down. One, Barney Green, was 87 years old. For 22 years, yet another group of relatives having to fight the cover-ups and lies of the British state before finally getting the truth they crave. Emma Rogan lost her father, Adrian.
Today we finally have a report by the Police Ombudsman at last that vindicates our long-held suspicions and belief that the truth about these murders was being covered up by the very people, the police, who were supposed to be protecting us.
Because today the Police Ombudsman found special branch officers withheld vital information from detectives investigating the crime because one of the suspects was a valued loyalist informer.
Most of the information held by Special Branch was not passed to detectives investigating these attacks and thereby protecting them from effective investigation. That, in my view, was wrong.
His report says Special Branch refused to use their informers to help after the massacre.
I have found no evidence that sources were tasked with gathering specific information that could have assisted the murder investigation. This was a hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil approach to the use of some informants, which potentially frustrated the police investigation.
Collusion between Police Special Branch and the UVF loyalist killers was, the Ombudsman says, a significant feature of the Loughin Island attack. Or, as one relative summed it up today, collusion is no longer an illusion. Which is why relatives now want an apology tonight from this woman, Secretary of State Theresa Villiers, who only this year implied security forces had no involvement in Loughin Island. But the Ombudsman goes further, suggesting Special Branch officers colluded in the loyalist importation of assault rifles used in over 70 murders, including that attack.
Despite being implicated in the importation of the weapons, senior members of the UDI, UVF and Ulster Resistance were not subject to police investigation. This can be attributed to a decision by Special Branch not to disseminate intelligence implicating these individuals, some of whom were informants. Given the gravity of the conspiracy and the impact that this has had on the lives of many people, I believe this decision is indefensible.
Moira Casement's uncle, 87-year-old Barney Green, was shot dead in the bar that night.
Ombudsman's Office factual report gives no hesitation in unambiguously determining that collusion was a significant feature in Loughin Island murders. We have the truth today, 22 years on. Now it's time for justice and accountability. Thanks. Yeah.
Brutal and shocking even by the standards of the Troubles, Loughin Island stood out. But the long search for truth and justice for the relatives against the state determined to deny both year after year after year is all too familiar in Britain.
Alex Thompson reporting.
I've been getting